This is the S&P 500 Spider ETF SPY one-day reading for April 26, 2024. It's currently February 19th, 2024, 6:18 p.m. Eastern Time. SPY at the time of this reading, $499.51. That's USD. And the shuffle video for the April 26th reading was created on February 2nd, 2024 at 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. That's this video here in the lower left corner. The overall theme and behavior for SPY on the 26th, sideways rotation along a key support level. Usually when you see this, the Prince of Discs as the theme card, it's kind of like a sideways D type of flat day. Doesn't mean that you don't have price swings, but you end kind of like around the same price level as where you started. Behavior around the highest high, we have a decline, and out of the decline, there's a big move from the bottom of the range all the way to the top of the range, taking us into the high. And behavior around the lowest low, we have a nullified Valor card, so we may or may not see some sideways, bumping along resistance, sideways type of behavior near the low. So there's a couple of different ways that you could play the day, but before we get into that, actually, and I'm advised to trade around the sideways fluctuating rally that precedes a decline. Hard to determine what the VIX is based on the Princess of Discs. The VIX readings are kind of like a new part that I added, so we'll have to see. I'm interested to see how the VIX behaves on the 26th, so that I can then learn how to read the VIX with the Princess of Discs. So before we go any further and get into the hour-by-hour chart behavior, as well as the highs, the timing of the highs and the lowest lows, and the trade opportunities, I just want to make sure everybody's aware. The whole purpose of the channel is to transmute some of the competitive energy of the stock market into goodwill. We do that by following the rule of karma for the channel. You go to the resources tab of our website, Tarot for Traders, and 5% of the profits from every profitable trade utilizing this information should be donated forward to one of these charities, or pick a charity of your choosing, as long as you're paying 5% forward, and then 5% should be sent back to the channel through one of these links. If you're international, you can use Wise, or you can use YouTube Tips, and that leaves you at 90%. Make sure to spend that 90% out of love. As long as you follow those rules, you follow the rule of karma for the channel, the universe considers you an angel investor. It's going to send it back to you tenfold for following through. Blessings to all my angel investors. Let's get back into it. Okay, remember guys, left to right across the screen, each card represents about an hour of time, but not each card's energy will necessarily line up with an hour of time. So there may be sometimes there's a reading here or there where the timing is off by plus or minus an hour here or there. Just follow the sequence of events as outlined by the prediction when that sort of thing happens, and that'll keep you on track. So we open higher in the pre-market. There's like this pop and drop, prominent move higher, full retracement move in the pre-market, and then we establish support right around the open with a big, and then a big move higher followed by sideways rotation. But that actually turns into, there's a sharp drop here. There's a sharp drop, so this move higher right around the open turns into a sharp drop, and then out of that sharp drop, hard to say how sharp, but out of that sharp drop, we should have a notable move, an unexpected move higher, and it'll be like chart behavior that really looks like negative, like we're going to go lower, and everybody's expecting us to, or there's some crazy headwinds that everybody's expecting us to go lower. Instead, we go higher after the sharp drop. We'll have a rally that increases with momentum moving forward in time. So there might be a low somewhere around 10 o'clock, maybe a little earlier, a little bit later, but there should be a trough, I should say a trough there around 10 o'clock. And then out of the trough, there's a rally that increases with momentum moving forward in time, taking us into a high where we're bound by the upper end of a range between 11 and 12. Chart behavior would lead us to believe that we're going to break through that range between 12 and 1, but instead there's a disappointment and we decline through key support instead. We meet an important support level on at least a 1 month scale here between 1 and 2. We may see another trough there between, I think we'll probably see another trough there between 1 and 2. And then out of that trough, there's another rally along a diagonal trend line between 2 and 3, breaking through horizontal resistance and meet a second resistance before falling back to somewhere between those two price levels. And then we have another establishment of support with sideways rotation in the last hour, followed by a big move higher. Matter of fact, I think that big move higher probably takes place before 3 o'clock, and then there's decline here in this last hour that ends with a fast move higher near the close, and that takes us back to the completion card. Now, we saw the completion card here, we're seeing the completion card here, we're seeing the completion card here. So on the 1 month, we've got the completion card on the 9th, so we're kind of like stuck in that energy. We're coming up against the upper end of a range over the course of these days here. So what I would do is in the midst of that sharp drop, I would open up a long position for a day trade, and I would close that long position when we come up against the upper end of a range. After a rally that increases with momentum, we come up against the upper end of a range and a high for the day. I would close out of the long position there for a day trade. And that's SPY for April 26th. Please subscribe if you haven't done so. It really helps out the channel. Most importantly, make sure to follow that rule of karma. You know where to go. You know what to do. Blessings to all my angel investors. Love you guys. I'll see you on the next one.